Hey there, my name is Caleb. I'm a worship leader and music director, and I want to help you write better charts. As directors, we need to provide good charts that communicate to everyone in the band what we all need to do together. So I had a friend tell me recently that he really liked the way that I write my charts and that I should share how I do that. I had never thought much about it. I just do what my teachers and mentors taught me to do and just thought it was normal. What I think I've done that's unique is that I've brought two common ways of chart writing together that separately are a little lacking, but together make one big super chart that gives you all the information that you need. And I hope that it can help you when you're writing charts for your band. I would think that most church musicians probably use charts like this lyric sheet with chords over the cymbals. Here we have 10,000 Reasons by Matt Redman. This is exactly how most people write this type of chart and will be used to seeing it as their music. The biggest limitation with this type of chart is that unless you know the vocal melody, you won't know the timing of when to play the chords. Maybe you've played a new song and experienced that before. And even if you do know the melody, sometimes it's unclear exactly which beat the chord falls on. Like during the lyric, "Worship your holy name," the chord changes at the beginning of the word worship and an eighth note after the beginning of the word holy. So that sounds like this: worship your holy name. You hear how it changes in the middle of the word holy? So aside from just reading sheet music, there has to be a better way. Well, here you go. Here is my version of this chart. It looks almost the same, but you can see there's a few more lines and dashes. But how do you read this chart? I'm glad you asked. Let's look at this document titled How to Read the Charts, and then come back to the song in just a minute. Side note, this how-to doc will be downloadable for free in a link in the description, as well as my charts that I show in this video. For starters, Rule 1 just explains chords. We won't get into anything more complicated than major and minor in this video. Rule 2 explains this basic premise. A single chord defaults to being a whole measure. So the given example is 4 measures, the A, D, E, A. In 4/4 time, that would be 4 beats per measure, and it would sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rule 3 shows you how to write 2 chords per measure by just underlining them. When chords are underlined without anything else, they default to 2 beats per chord. So in the example, 2 beats of A, 2 beats of E. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rule 4 starts getting fairly specific and shows how to break up chords even further by showing how many beats a chord will get in one measure, and show the specific quarter note the chord will change on. In the example, you see it's underlined, so this is 1 measure, but the dashes show 3 beats of A and 1 beat for E. So beats 1, 2, 3 play A, and on beat 4, change to E. So that sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go on to the next measure. So with just those 3.5 rules, let's go back to 10,000 Reasons. Without even looking at the lyrics, we can see that this song typically holds chords for 2 beats with a few exceptions. So I'll just play and count. I'm looking at only the chord line, not the lyric line. Starting at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh my soul, worship. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. With just a few rules, we have a chart that is measure for measure, even beat for beat, just as specific as slash notation sheet music. So just a few more things to show you, and then we can play this whole chart. I think the time changes I've written into the verses are probably self-explanatory. That diamond is actually just called a diamond. So when we diamond a chord, we just hit it and hold it for the duration. So hit and hold E minor for 4 beats right there. Side note, diamonds are explained in Rule 8 on the how-to document. And that is it for this song. Probably 75% of all worship songs. Typically, chords change on one of the 4 downbeats. See how there is no more guesswork as to where the chord is supposed to fall? We have a chart that looks almost the same as we're used to looking, measure for measure, beat for beat, specifically shows where the chords change. But wait, there is more. This system can get even more specific, down to the 8th note. Here's the chart for Glory to God Forever by Fee. These extra little greater than symbols are showing anticipations, where the chord is changing on the upbeat or anticipating the next downbeat by an 8th note. So you can see by the underline that this happens in one measure, but the mark shows that we should anticipate the chord change by 1/8 note. So we're actually changing on the and, or the upbeat of beat 2. So 1 and 2 and. And that sounds like this. Glory to God, glory to God, glory to God forever. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So where did these rules come from? I'm glad you asked. No, I did not make these rules up. And I didn't say at the beginning because when you say sometimes Nashville number system, people tend to get a little uncomfortable, scared. They're not sure what to make of numbers and music. Well, too bad. You just learned half of the system, the rhythmic half of the system. All of these rules for timing come from the Nashville number system. And if you watch a little follow-up video that explains how chords can be expressed in numbers, then you'll be all the way there and you'll have learned a whole new system. These charts are not Nashville number system charts. Nashville numbers normally have only the chords, they don't have the lyrics. So it makes a pretty grid of just chords in a row, which is great for showing song form, but I know a lot of musicians like to see the lyrics. So I put lyric and chord charts with Nashville number rules in them. It seems to work really great for our team. I hope I explained all this well enough. If you are on a worship team that struggles to play tight and in time together and are dissatisfied with how unspecific lyric and chord sheet styled charts are, I hope you'll consider incorporating some of these rules in your chart writing. Please like and share if you found this helpful. Comment any extra questions that are unclear. And thanks so much for watching.